In this video, we'll cover the pivot dashboard element. First, I'll add the pivot from the insert bar at the top of the designer. Adding data to the pivot is relatively simple. We have the columns, rows, and values to add. In this case, let's drag the product name over to the column slot, and you'll see that the column is automatically set up. I'll add a row using ship city, and you'll see that it is added. For the value, I'll add quantity. You'll see that now we have created a pivot grid, detailing the number of each product delivered to each city. If I add multiple items into the slots, the pivot grid is sorted into a hierarchy. You can see that ship postal code and ship name are sorted below ship city here. Now let's move on to the data tab. You will see that less options are available because the pivot grid is designed to be a simple data viewer. First off, we can edit our filter based on any of the visible elements. However, if we want to filter by an item that is not visible, we can utilise the hidden data items. For example, if we wanted to filter by product name, we could drag the product name field into the hidden data item slot. Now, if I return to the edit filter menu, you will see that the product name field has now been added to the list. I'll select my parameters and click apply. Notice that the element changes to reflect this. Pivot grids can be included in master filters, but not generate their own. We can stop the pivot from being included in master filters by selecting the Ignore Master Filters option. You can choose initial state options to set how the pivot is presented when the dashboard is opened, rows and columns expanded or collapsed depending on your preference. You might notice that the pivot does not feature the options to change layout and style. However, by right-clicking on the element, you can change a few options regarding the style. You can add or remove a caption and change the names that appear on the element. You can sort by any of the fields that appear in the element. You might notice that the sub-level items within this element are not sorted. To add a sort to this level, we need to return to the data item and select an additional sort by. So now, all levels are sorted. But what if I want to sort by a data item that is not featured on the element? I can add a hidden data field to the pivot grid to sort by a field that is not featured on the element. I'll drag the required date field over, and you will see that it has now been added to the sort list. And that's it. You should now have a better understanding of how the pivot grid works within a dashboard.